We said we were going to talk a little bit about the events of Friday, and of course there are people who are focusing on the fact, and I don't think we've had absolute proof, but friends and family saying that according to the mom of the shooter that he had a diagnosis, and they're using the word Asperger. And a lot of people, after the Colorado movie theater shooting, Joe Scarborough had made a comment that he said, I think what we're going to find out is that this individual was on the spectrum, and people rose up and said, not helpful at all. And I think there's a misconception when people talk about having a social deficit and what I consider sociopathic behavior, that they're starting to link these two things together, and I think that's really dangerous.
Yeah, fortunately, from everything I've seen, it's not so much that they're specifically saying that the autism is the cause for this. It's just the mere fact that they're discussing this as much as they are, I think it is a problem, because it's giving people the impression that they could be linked.
Right.
I'm looking at analytics for Wrong Planet, and I'm getting hundreds and hundreds of requests for things on Wrong Planet where people are wondering if people with autism are killers. It's like terms like autism, causes violence, or autism, which is
it's completely wrong.
It's good that they're searching for it, because that means that they're actually not taking it at face value.
Right.
And it's good that they're finding my site, because it says that it doesn't cause violence. So, but for every one of those people, I'm sure there's thousands of people who just hear it and think that maybe that's a cause, and that there is no link between it. It's in the, I don't know, I think, what was it? How many days? It was 3 days ago that this happened on.
Yeah.
In those three days, how many people were murdered just because of the fact just random violence? There's a lot of it. I mean, and not just random violence, but people kill people every day. Hundreds of people were killed since that happened.
Yes.
And I bet you most of the people involved had absolutely nothing to do with autism. It didn't have autism, and that's not mentioned.
Right. It's I think an already disturbing event. I mean, I don't think there's anybody who's looking at this in any other way than it's a complete tragedy.
When I heard about it, I just immediately went on Twitter and just mentioned that my heart thoughts and prayers went out to the families and the victims of such a horrible tragedy.
Yes, absolutely. But to compound that tragedy with a further misconception about a disorder that is already greatly misunderstood.
One thing that really bugs me is the fact that they keep saying, the pundits on cable news channels keep saying mental health issues or mentally ill. Which is, mental illness is not, autism is a completely separate thing. And it's making it seem as if it's part of that, and they're talking about trying to address this, and I worry about the fact that anyone who's sort of awkward and shy and a loner is going to end up being there's going to be a witch hunt.
And perhaps further bullied or ostracized as a result.
For instance, one comment I read last night that really made me sad, and I've been reading a lot of comments on Wrong Planet, is that someone said, oh great, how am I going to enjoy Christmas, after people are talking about autism in this event? What are my family going to think of me? I'm going to...
Yes,
I'm afraid to spend time with my relatives. I don't know what they're going to say.
Right. I mean, I will be honest with you, that part of my concern about sending my child to school today, he's very open about the fact that he has a diagnosis, and part of my concern was, what are some of the other kids going to say to him? That he has nothing to do with this event, other than he's a person on the planet who felt some of the sadness and dismay at what happened, and the fact that another child may in some way decide that he's linked to it was disturbing to me.
And a lot of these, and I keep hearing about different past events that people went off and killed a lot of people, and one common theme is like, oh well, it's a white male and he's socially awkward and a loner. It's like, well, first of all, that's a lot of people, and
it really is.
And like 99.9999999% of those people don't kill anyone.
Right.
And I think that it's really sad that it's causing issues for people in school. Like when I was in upper elementary school and middle school, kind of the whole Columbine thing, they were talking about bullying and stuff being the cause, and a teacher said something like someone was bullying me, and a teacher's like, you should be nice to him, look at what could have happened. It's like, how could a teacher how could a teacher say something like that? When I told my parents, they were shocked and like disturbed and upset that someone,
you should be nice to people because it's
or they should be they said it specifically pointed me out. They're like, you should be nice to Alex, you know, look what happens when people get bullied. It's like, really, you're gonna say that? It's this, I mean, to be fair, bullying does cause people to be depressed and really upset. It doesn't cause people to become killers.
That's right. That's right.